The inspiration behind this project was a situation that happened among our friends, and that's our mutual friends, Bob's and mine. And that is one of my daughters and his daughter's very good friend developed Tourette's syndrome. And she went from being a very normal child to all of a sudden at the age of 12, just as she reached puberty, she developed really severe Tourette's syndrome to the point where her parents didn't even know if she'd be able to stay at home. She was, hitting people and herself and losing herself, and it was like going from a normal child to not even being able to go to school anymore. And because our daughters were teenagers at that point, we became very frightened as to how my daughter would treat her. And it made me aware that what teens with disabilities must go through. Now, it so happened that my daughter accepted her, and they're still very, very close friends. But I realized that it was hard enough for us to go through school and be teenagers and go through all that we went through. And can you imagine what it's like for a teen with disabilities who has to sit apart from other kids? We didn't come up with the title at all. It was very important to us that the teens themselves have a lot of input into this project. And we're the artists, but we're also the coordinators. So what we did is we asked this young girl who has Tourette's syndrome to come up with the title, and she came up with the space between you and me. And that's because her Tourette's causes her to hit other people, to throw pencils in class, and so in assembly lines, when she's sitting at a desk, even in airplanes, she quite often has to sit far apart from other people so that she's not a danger to herself or to others. And of course she talks about the distance, the emotional distance between herself and other people that this automatically creates. Most of us don't realize what a treasure trove teens with disabilities are. Quite often they're sidelined by mainstream society, and when we began to interview them, we realized that they had insights and depth and compassion and a kindness that I just haven't seen in people of that age. And we realized that we could take that, and if we take it to high schools, if we go to places like hospitals, we can spread that wisdom and that knowledge, and we can talk about their experience in a way that maybe you don't do normally.
So we shot about 7 hours of interview footage in total, and we found a young dancer, Kira Galoyan, and we had her in the studio here at the college 3 different occasions, and she choreographed some material that would in some way be representative of some of the motions that one might see in Tourette's. And so I think we have well over 2 hours of material with her, and then I don't know how much material that Agnieszka and I have shot, nature kind of material, all over the place, including we have some footage from the west coast of Vancouver Island and from the east coast of Prince Edward Island. And so some of the imagery of water is actually coming from both coasts of Canada.
I think the way that it changed, when I started this project, I thought that I would be helping teens in a very difficult situation, in a high school situation, when, as I said, when you have a teen with a disability going into a school, a junior high or high school, there are tremendous difficulties, and I thought that we would be helping them adjust. But I realized throughout the video that the teens we were interviewing were actually helping us because they had so much wisdom and knowledge that really it's no longer about helping them, it's about them helping all of us to see life from a maybe more positive, more compassionate perspective.
Yeah, I'd just like to add to that. You know, we interviewed 7 people. I say people because they ranged in age from 13 to 20, so I hesitate to call the 20-year-old a kid. And I mean, they could express so well. They could express their feelings about, you know, what they had gone through as they were growing up, what they experienced in school, with their siblings, with friends. You know, and we talked with them about all sorts of situations and things that happened to them, and also about their future and what they thought, you know, was going to happen to them as they grew older. And it was just so impressive. I mean, right from the 13-year-old, hearing things come out of a 13-year-old, that very thoughtful kinds of things that came out of him. It was great to hear that. Well, you know, I mean, I'd like as many people as possible to see it, and you know, I hope that it can be set up in a number of different venues. We certainly hope that you know, it's not going to be something that stays in a place like Edmonton and is only seen once, because that I don't think would be you know, a valuable thing. So we would like to travel it at least around Alberta, if not a little bit wider, and you know, hopefully end up with it showing in Calgary at some point, Red Deer, who knows, maybe Grand Prairie, you know, that kind of thing, and in different kind of venues, so that maybe it might be in a high school for a few days, maybe it might be in a gallery for 2 weeks, you know, those kinds of things, but hopefully in a variety of places, you know, even in a hospital if we can find a space big enough.
Tourette syndrome just, you know, I get in my mind that it wouldn't really, like, why would a girl want to be with me and experience what I have to go through every day, and